The Horsepower Hour presents this month's Top 5 of the Week. Today. And Top 5 of the Week today right now is, of course, overrated JDM vehicles. And Jay, this was your idea, so I'm actually going to let you start, man.
Me? I don't have any particular order, but I think one of the most overrated, at least here in the US, is the R32. I think people started importing them because it reached that 25-year mark and they just wanted it. They brought it in and you pull up to the car meet and everyone's like,
bro, come on. I am such an R32 fanboy. You can't say that.
I have to go with Jay on this.
Wow.
It is the JDM Mustang.
Oh, no.
It really is.
It's the flex body LX of them.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, since you're saying that, I'm going to introduce number 4, which is the S2000. I'm sorry. 240 horsepower. Like you couldn't muster any more than that. And by the way, bolt-ons, forget about it. You want bolt-ons to this motor? It's already tuned the absolute best it can possibly be. It's not making any more horsepower.
That was painful. That hurt a little bit.
Well,
I'm sorry when Honda's out there breaking horsepower per liter records putting shit in the Guinness books that you call that overrated.
Well, guess what's broken those records almost immediately? Everything else.
It was like 10 years. That's not immediately.
Okay, my truck's got a better horsepower to weight ratio.
No.
Well,
your core truck is turbocharged. That's a different thing. We're talking all motor here, baby.
No, I'm sorry, but S2000s, they handle great. Don't get me wrong. They handle great. They're neat. That digital dash, woo, it's from the 80s. Cool. Okay.
I agree with the digital dash.
I don't know. I can't agree with that one.
I've
never driven an S2000, but man, people love those damn things, man. People swear by them.
That's fine. That's fine. What do you think, Coy?
Well, I think you're just trying to hurt me.
No, number 3. Let's hear it.
Oh, sorry. Since you gave me so much time to prepare, so much, I'm gonna go Miata. Not
what?
Anyway,
are you kidding me right now?
Because right now, go ahead and get on Facebook Marketplace and see what Miata prices are doing. It's not necessarily the JDM tax, it's the drift tax. All the guys realize how expensive a 240 was, and they're jumping on the Miata train. They're realizing how good a Miata is, and they're ruining it for guys that like Miatas like us. This is not the Miata's fault.
Yeah, they're ruining it because Miatas are so good. How are they overrated?
That's why because they were underrated for so long. I'm going to say, like, they're taking a car that was a beautiful, wonderful, tiny rear-wheel drive little monster that was kind of niche. Like, people were like, oh, have fun in your secretary's car. And you're like, absolutely, I will. Bye. And now people are like, look, I stanced it. My wheels are pointing at the sky. I got so much negative. And it's just, they're out there just ruining them. That's why they're overrated.
All right, Jay, I'm going to give you the number 2 slot. What do you think?
Oh, man. I got a couple here, and people are not going to like me. And it doesn't mean
only give the one. Only give the one.
But I'm going to say the 300ZX. I was going to say 3000 GT, but I'm going to say the 300ZX.
300ZXs, they caught drift tax before Miatas did.
That's true. And it's sad because the performance of the 300ZX is meh. Like, yeah.
It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Those Datsuns are up there though too, man. They're not really. Those caught fire a few years ago, and now everybody just thinks those are the best things.
The 300ZXs. So I'm not even talking about the Z32s right now. I'm talking about the Z31s. Have you seen the value of those going up? It's unreal.
I still hate those that I don't care. Like, good. Spend your money on those and leave other cars for me.
Why do you hate them so much?
I just don't like Z31s. They're
the look, the handling, what?
Just the look.
Okay. All right. You're not a pop-up headlight fan.
No, I don't think so now that you mention it. But
okay. That's why he said Miata, by the way. That's the cap.
Yeah.
What's your issue with the 300ZX?
They just weren't that great of cars. And everyone loves them. I mean, if I had to pull an audible, I'd say the Datsun 240s because those shot up in the last few years, and there's nothing great about those cars. Nothing.
That's the nostalgia factor, though. You got a lot of these dudes where the 240Zs, 260Zs, 280Zs, those actually were kind of running with the hot rods, you know, the Camaros and the AMXs and the Chargers and the Challengers back in the day. I mean, my dad was kind of a hot rodder back in the day, and he talks about how dudes would show up with the 240Zs, and if they had any amount of work done to them, then they were a force to be reckoned with. But I think that's why some of those are catching the value now, is because that nostalgia factor.
What are we at with number one?
Number one, I'm going to go ahead and take that from you guys because I know you're both going to agree. S13 240SX is 100% the most overrated JDM vehicle on the planet right now.
You really think it's the number one?
Yes, the number one. Have
You're
you
going to
seen
take it over a bug-eyed WRX?
Have you seen the cost of an S13 right now?
I agree with that part. The drift tax is insane. It's ridiculous.
You can't get a 200,000 mile welded diff with a blown motor S13 240SX for less than $5,000 right now.
Yeah, no, it's a good time to have a stockpile of them to sell.
Jay, feel free to try to refute me, even though I'm not wrong.
I got nothing for you because you're right. I don't know how many people actually value those unless you're in the drift scene. I've had a really cool drifter on the show, and he says stay away from them. And that's the stuff that he is into. He said that was his biggest mistake, was jumping into one of those things first.
Can I ask you, did he have any advice for you or opinion as to why he said that those are ones to stay away from?
Nothing ever works. Nothing ever works. It's just you're going to pay so much more to get those things running. And if you get one that actually runs, leave it alone.
Totally agree.
Yeah, leave it alone so that it can lose value in another 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but in my opinion, those are like Honda Civics. We're finally starting to see Honda Civics down into the 1,000 range, $800 range. And it's because they were just so valuable for a long time because people thought they were these race cars. And now they're starting to come back down because they're truly just the affordable ship boxes that they always were meant to be.
Yeah.
Actually, for once in my life, Civics aren't overrated anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were the king of that for 20 years.
B series motor swaps, those are still overrated. They're still $4,000. But we'll come around to those.
I don't know if they're overrated. I think they've all been used up, and now it's just supply and demand. There's not that many left.
Well, you could be right. I mean, the next hot Honda could be manual transmission CRVs.
Maybe
all-wheel drive, B20. Most of them have not been just like completely raped and molested their entire lives.
I don't see it happening, but it's possible.
I'm just saying, I'm starting to finally see a few of those with VTEC heads thrown on them, and lowered. Their all-wheel drive systems are not bad. We're starting to see some of those, if not for builds and CRVs, purely because they can be swapped into one of the EK chassis Civics.
Yeah, I agree.
Shall we throw a few more out there, because usually we say 5 and we do 10 or 8?
Sure. A few honorable mentions.
Yeah, I got to go basically all Subarus, but I'm going to really narrow it down to the bug eyes.
Yeah,
those bug eye WRXs, I feel like, are some of the trashiest cars.
Yeah,
they were like the first like all-wheel drive beast in America, and they would just show up. They were decimating at autocrosses, but guys were struggling to keep them running. They'd spend half a season just beating us up, and then we'd be like, "Where'd he go?" And he'd be like, "Well, his transmission exploded, so we'll see him next year." I was like, "Good, I can get back in the points running now."
Or my favorite version of that is, the motor blew, but I got a new one, and suddenly they're a lot faster, and you're like, "Well, hang on, which motor is that?" I don't know, some JDM takeout. Turns out it was the version 5 STI motor. It's still 2-liter, so they think they're pulling a fast one on people.
Yeah, there were a few guys that got talkings too about that at autocrosses.
Oh yeah,
everybody wanted to replicate their childhood dreams of the WRC rally car, the big fatty. So when we got the neutered version here, it's just all downhill from there.
Everybody wanted that blue and bronze with the yellow side,
Jay, I got one for you. In my opinion, overrated. I'm going to make some people pretty heated here. The 4th gen Supra.
Yes. So that was the one I almost said was the number one. I was talking on the MK4 Supra is, sorry people, it's overrated. It's, Fast and Furious, and I used to go to the import drag races with Powerhouse Super, and they could pull down some numbers.
Yep.
But just because it can go fast as hell in a straight line doesn't make it a good car.
Yep.
And I borrowed the keys to one of those from my friend Fat Jimmy back when it was brand new, and I took it out, got on the on-ramp, hit the gas, the butt sank just like a boat, and it took like an hour, and all of a sudden it was like, I was like, good Lord, this thing handles like a boat.
All right, follow-up question. Your buddy Fat Jimmy, does he call himself Fat Jimmy, or do you guys call him Fat Jimmy and he's always like, hey?
Yeah, he kind of laughs with it, yeah. Really
Wait,
cool guys.
Is it ironic Fat Jimmy, or is Fat Jimmy fat? Is it like the Little John that's 6'7",
Yeah, it's like a Little John version. He was a really, really big kid. He wasn't like, he was just like this towering Asian dude. He was probably 6'3", 6'4", glasses, fun-loving, could probably smash all of us with a Hulk smash maneuver, but was just too nice to do it. But his parents would always throw him the keys to a new car all the time. So, when you're young, you get a new car and you're the, hey guys, you'll throw your keys around to your buddies. And so those things.
It was like when Coy was younger and we used to call him Coytard.
Coytardimus. That was my first title, actually. I retired it. I agree that Supras are overrated, but I also understand why they're overrated. I mean, they've become legendary in this.
But why?
Honestly, Fast and Furious had a lot to do with it, but it was like one of the original not super fast factory. One of the first cars that was an import car that could pop wheelies and stuff. Like when all the muscle car guys are like, look at this car, it's popping a wheelie. You could be like, hey, Toyota Supra, bro. It's super fast. There's lots of, and you could get on your dial-up internet and pull up a picture of a Supra doing a super fast drag run.
Yeah.
So I mean, in everybody's mind, if you were going to build an import for drag racing, that was the chassis. If Dream World, you would do. Now all those kids, well, not all those kids apparently, but some of those kids have a lot of money and they can get their childhood dream car. So at one generation it might have been a 67 Mach 1. Well, now it's this generation's it's a Supra. So
yeah,
I get why they are priced the way they are. The performance is not what people think it is.
Clean OEM form, they're not a very good looking car.
No,
I appreciate them for what they are, but once you throw some wheels, a little bit of light aero, you make them balls to the wall fast. I mean, you can make them not only fast but look pretty damn good.
I absolutely agree.
We're just talking out of the box.
Yeah,
we can also make them look really horrendous. We had Smoking a Doob here a while back.
Sweet, like full Fast and Furious wide body.
It looked like the head on a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was real.
Fast and Furious one was pretty hideous when you go back and look at it.
Yeah,
right.
It was
then, actually.
And also in the original Fast and the Furious, they didn't highlight it at all, but they had an R33 GTR. We never got to see it run. It was by far and away probably the fastest vehicle in the movie.
Didn't they have the Veilside RX-7 in there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the point.
Pretty sure
that FD, yeah.
If that was not the fastest car in the movie, it was probably the best looking.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
No, hold on. No, the red DC2 Integra with the, was it DC Sports? What was that on it that RJ DeVera was driving, or was it?
It was DC Sports, wasn't it?
I think so.
Was it DC or was it Skunk? I don't remember. I know what you're talking about. That was
like black and purple and chrome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all those old school brands that most of are defunct or not as cool as they were. They had a lot of crazy builds. I can't remember them all.
I'm still going to do the nitrous under the seat cushion though, because Fast and the Furious for life. Come on, guys.
I like it where
welds start popping when you the blur starts kicking in.
Yes, dude. Yes, the floor pan falls out of your vehicle.
Yeah, it's good shit, man. I'm gonna go build that right now. I'll turn my Infinity FX into something like that.
I'm sorry. I want to get nitrous, but not hook it up to my engine. Just have a purge on the hood, so I can just roll up to lights and purge hard. I want to be like those lizards that pop up the big, what do you call it? I don't know what it is. Yeah,
That's what you're talking about.
in-flap thing.
They're the ones that go poof, and they run at you.
Yeah, then we'll run on the back lids, pop up a big round thing around their head. I want to be like that, but with nitrous, where I just roll up and I have purges where they shouldn't be, like up by the moon roof.
Yeah.
You know, a couple on the sides. Just my car just goes full smoke screen when I purge my nitrous, but not actually hook it to the motor.
So what happens when somebody calls your bluff?
Well, I just never race. I'm just like, did you see this? No, you're too little. You're not strong enough to battle me yet, and I just drive away.
Jay Coy talks about this quite a bit, where he would just kind of flex on people and then go, nah, you're not worth racing. Can we still do that these days?
I like that move, though. You can roll your window down and be like, bruh, racetrack.
Yeah. I don't race.
Track? Oh, you can't go? Well,
all this.
I don't do the street racing shit. It's beneath me.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, just keep purging.
Just like that. Just like his vape he just did.
Yeah.
That was your delight.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I know not nitrous is just an oxidizer, but if I could add on the back of the car, add some fuel so that as I drove away, I could flick a cigarette button. There'd just be a big fuel air bomb behind me, you know, this big whoop.
I think that.
In an interesting way, when the car was wrapped, I wanted to find a way to, when I got on the gas, shoot blue flames out the back like an afterburner. That would have been really cool.
Yes, you need that propane injection with the spark plug in the tailpipe.
Yep, and just be the.
They make something like that now. There's blue LED light, and then it just shoots smoke out. You have a button, and it's just like a smoke that gets injected into the muffler, but the blue LED light shines back and turns it all blue.
They actually have a cheaper kit available for sprues where it doesn't come with the smoke because you're creating your own.
You just install the LED ring light at the right time.
It doesn't even have to be blue because you blew the head gasket, so it's already blue coming out.
Pretty bluish, yeah.